Good afternoon, folks. Mike Wells, your World Explorer. Today is November the 13th, 2023, and we're taking a look at our Tainan 64 sweet potato grow locations. Now, this location, we've already pulled the cage off, the protective cage, and this is the understory location, okay? So it gets dappled sunlight. As you can see, there are pretty much no vines left. Just a little over there, right in there, but it's just dead drying vines. So this may not be something that we do going forward, is try to grow these in a dappled sunlight location. Let's take a look. Right over there is our next location, which is in the full sunlight location. Now clearly this location is doing a lot better than the dappled sunlight location. So these have been sitting here growing for a good portion of the year. What I'm gonna do is pull this cage off, and then we'll start digging for some sweet potatoes. Let's get to it. Here we are at the dappled sunlight location. So you can see the layering here is mostly leaves and detritus, which was inoculated with beneficial bacteria and beneficial fungi. Just pulled the corner off here. There's our first sweet potato. Very tiny. Folks, we're about a third of the way in, and here we are. We found some earthworms, which is a great sign. That means this material has earthworms growing in it. Now, disenchanting thing is the size of these sweet potatoes coming out. Some of them have been chewed into by something, but the yield is extremely low. And we're about a third of the way through this little corridor here. So we'll see what happens. All right, this space has been excavated. There's the material, what's left of it. I've already moved like 3 wheelbarrows. But look, that's the yield. There's a 5-gallon bucket. That's not impressive. Let's move over to the full sun location and see what we got over there. All right, folks, we've got the cage moved to the side. I'm gonna start pulling through this material and see what we can find. Okay, I've removed all the vines. Just from doing that alone, we've already beaten our yield from the understory location. Now these are the vines. I'm going to replant those, but going forward into this next grow year, I'm going to do something a little different. All right, folks, that's it. I've pulled everything out of this bed. There's the mountain of potato vines, sweet potatoes. Now, you're not going to believe this, but this is the yield. Yeah. So if we put this up against the other understory location, that's the difference. Okay, mind you, this here still is not impressive, but it's better than that. So if you need a compare and contrast of growing sweet potatoes, at least this Tainan 64 variety, growing them under the shade versus full sun, then this is a good compare and contrast example for you. Now going forward, what I want to do is, they're on these nodes here, 1, 2, I'm going to snip here, and all of these vines, when I replant this bed right now, I'm going to go ahead and cut all of these vines down. See, what I did initially last year was I kept the vines intact and I just buried them. That, unfortunately for me, was a huge mistake, because it gave me this really, really low yield in a high nutrient, maximum sunlight location. And these guys were watered thoroughly throughout the year, so this shouldn't have become an issue. This shouldn't have happened. Only thing that I can think of is that the vines were left intact and they were not separated and cut. Also, if I take these sweet potatoes here and I allow them to grow slips, then planting the slips will give me a much higher yield as well. Folks, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, as it helps the channel grow. And stay tuned, because next year we're going to see what this 2-node method for cuttings and replanting is going to yield for us out in the full sun location. Also, we're not even going to do an understory location. Have a great day.